For generations, humanity has searched the darkness beyond our sky with a quiet hope and an unspoken fear. We weren't only looking for planets or distant suns. We were looking for proof that the universe was more than empty space. We sent machines farther and farther from home, probes that whispered back images and data from places no human could ever reach. Each mission promised answers, but none prepared us for what came next. Because what was recently observed doesn't feel like a discovery. It feels like an interruption. At first, the object appeared unremarkable. A faint traveler slipping through interstellar space, resembling nothing more than a cold fragment left over from the birth of another star system. Astronomers logged it as routine, another rare visitor passing through our neighborhood. But then the data stopped behaving normally. The object wasn't just reflecting light. It was changing. Infrared measurements revealed something deeply unsettling. A repeating thermal fluctuation emerging from its interior, rising and falling with unnatural regularity. Not chaotic. Not random. Measured. Timed. Almost biological in rhythm. No known natural body behaves this way. Rocks don't pulse. Ice doesn't beat. The James Webb Space Telescope wasn't designed to look for messages, yet that's exactly what the data began to resemble. Not a broadcast meant to be decoded easily, but a pattern that suggested intent. Something persistent. Something aware. When analysts isolated the light spectrum, the anomaly deepened. They were clean, deliberate outputs. As researchers processed the information through advanced pattern analysis, another detail emerged. Beneath what initially looked like background noise was structure. Repeating intervals. Precision that shouldn't exist in nature. Whatever this object was doing, it wasn't accidental. Then came the moment that shifted the tone from curiosity to alarm. Without warning, the object brightened sharply, its energy output spiking in a smooth, symmetrical surge. At the same time, its motion changed. Just slightly at first, then unmistakably. It adjusted its course. Natural objects follow gravity. They fall, drift, and curve predictably. This did not. It corrected itself, aligning with the inner solar system in a way that suggested awareness of position and destination. Not toward Earth directly, but close enough to matter. From that point on, the assumption that this was a passive visitor collapsed. Further analysis revealed fluctuations within its emissions that mirrored biological behavior at a fundamental level. Not cells or DNA as we understand them, but resonance patterns similar to how living tissue organizes energy. The light itself behaved like something alive or something designed to imitate life. And then it went quiet. The pulses dimmed. The thermal signal flattened. The emissions dropped to near nothing. But the object continued moving with absolute precision. It didn't slow. It didn't tumble. It didn't drift. It was as if it had chosen silence. To many scientists, this was far more disturbing than activity. Silence implies control. Silence implies choice. Soon after, Earth itself began to respond. Subtle disturbances rippled through our planet's magnetic field, synchronized with the object's movement. These were not solar events. They were localized, timed, and directional. No natural body has ever influenced Earth's magnetosphere from such a distance. Something was interacting with us. Independent researchers proposed an idea once considered unthinkable. What if this object isn't a vehicle, but an intelligence in its own right? Not piloted. Not remote-controlled. But a self-contained entity shaped by evolution or design beyond our comprehension. A form of intelligence that doesn't rely on biology as we know it, but on energy, fields, and matter arranged with purpose. If that's true, then this isn't a visitor in the traditional sense. It's a representative of a kind of life that moves freely between stars. Gravitational data only deepened the mystery. Space around it bent in ways that defied existing models. At first, it was dismissed as debris. No erosion. No randomness. It emitted no heat, reflected no radiation, and absorbed light completely. Materials unlike anything catalogued in known meteorites. This wasn't residue. It was manufactured. The object's rotation added another layer of unease. Its spin followed precise ratios tied to mathematical constants found across nature and intelligence alike. Patterns too exact to be coincidence. Motion used as language. When communication specialists attempted a response, carefully sending structured signals toward it, nothing came back. No echo. No reply. But shortly after the transmission ended, the object altered its rotation ever so slightly. It had noticed. Historical records then revealed something chilling. Anomalies along the same vector appeared decades apart, coinciding with unexplained bursts of radiation and gravitational disturbances. This may not have been its first passage. It may be returning.